Umno Youth Chief Dr Akmal Saleh pleaded not guilty today to a charge of making statements likely to cause fear or alarm to the public. Meanwhile, DAP Youth has slammed the Pontian Municipal Council's harsh 30-day closure of a dental clinic over an upside-down flag. Lim has taken legal action against Tajuddin Abdul Rahman for alleged racist remarks made in 2022. Stay tuned to KiniNews for more. Umno Youth Chief and Merlimau Assembly Person Dr Akmal Saleh was at the Magistrate's Court in Bukit Mertajam today to face a charge of making statements likely to cause fear or alarm to the public. He pleaded not guilty before Magistrate Nurul Rashida Muhammad Akid. According to the charge, Akmal allegedly made a statement online at 3 p.m. on August 11th that could cause fear or alarm among the public. The case is brought under Section 505(b) of the Penal Code, which carries a penalty of up to 2 years in jail, a fine, or both upon conviction. State Prosecution Director Nordin Ismail led the case, while Akmal was represented by lawyer Aizat Azam. Prosecutors had sought bail at 10,000 ringgit. However, Aizat requested a reduction to 2,000 ringgit, citing his client's responsibilities as both a doctor and elected representative, as well as his duty to support a wife and 2 young children. The court set bail at 5,000 ringgit in one surety, with September 22nd fixed for document submission. Earlier, over 100 people had greeted Akmal as he arrived at the court. His supporters were not allowed to enter the court premises, and the entrance gate was shut after he entered. Akmal later thanked the crowd of supporters who gathered outside the court for showing up to demonstrate their solidarity. He stated that it's a gathering not to show solidarity for him, but is instead for the Jalur Gemilang.
Solidarity kita bukan kepada Dr Akmal, tapi solidarity kita kepada Jalur Gemilang kita. Ke atas saya akan ambil tanggungjawab sepenuhnya dan tak takut untuk menghadapi persidangan. Bagi saya ini politik. Ini bukan soal perkauman. Ini soal nak menjaga maruah Jalur Gemilang. Dan saya percaya ini akan menjadi titik tolak kebangkitan rakyat untuk kita sayangkan lambang negara kita ini. Ada yang menganggap bahawa ini isu yang kecil, tapi percayalah, lambang negara ini bukan isu yang kecil. Ia adalah maruah kita semua sebagai rakyat Malaysia.
While we are on the topic of flag mistakes, DAP Youth has slammed the Pontian Municipal Council's move to shut a dental clinic for 30 days after an upside-down flag incident. In a statement, the wing said businesses should avoid such mistakes, but punishments must be fair and not overzealous. It urged the Johor government to step in and order the council to withdraw the closure notice. The closure, it said, disrupts patients' appointments, including surgeries, forcing them to postpone or find other doctors. The wing stressed that all enforcement decisions by local authorities should consider the impact or effects on the public rather than punishing blindly like moral police. DAP Youth Group also flagged as concerning what it deemed to be double standards practiced in enforcing punitive actions over similar issues. It noted that when similar flag errors involved the Education Ministry, Terengganu Pass, or Umno Youth, there was no harsh action. It stressed that patriotism should be built through education and encouragement, not through threats or harsh punishment. From now on, you can also listen to KiniNews on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Scan the QR code on the screen to follow us. Businessperson Albert Tay, who had revealed information on the Saba mining scandal, has hit out at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim for dismissing his evidence against 6 Saba assembly persons as hearsay. Tay shot down Anwar's claim that only videos were handed to the MACC. In a statement to Malaysia Kini, he said it was not just videos, but money trails, bank records, documents, written correspondences, and specific locations. He added that every detail was painstakingly compiled, cross-verified, and handed to the authorities. He pointed out that even his phone, which contained WhatsApp conversations with the assembly persons, was surrendered to the MACC. Tay stated that for Anwar to reduce it all to hearsay is beyond irresponsible. It is a betrayal. According to Tay, the dossier submitted for the 6 assembly persons is identical in format and strength to the 2 who were charged. Thus, he questioned why 2 Saba reps were charged, while 6 others named in his dossier walked free. He asked if it was due to political influence, party survival, or cronyism. He said Anwar's remarks were deeply disappointing and a direct insult to him and everyone who dares to expose corruption. Tay reminded Anwar of his Reformasi slogan and urged the government to act on all evidence, charge all involved, and end the double standards. Saba Chief Minister Haji Noor has announced that the upcoming 17th Saba state election is his last as a politician. According to the Borneo Post, Haji made the announcement in Tuaran yesterday. He said he was actually tired of politics, is already 70, and had served as a representative for 35 years. Haji, an 8-term assembly person, added that he had already informed his Sulaman constituents of his decision. He added that it was time to pass the baton to younger leaders. Haji, who leads Gabungan Rakyat Saba and heads Parti Gagasan Rakyat Saba, was born in Tuaran and served as a public servant before entering politics in 1990 under the now defunct United Saba National Organization. After USNO's dissolution, he joined Umno in 1994. Post-2020, he had led a group of Saba UMNO defectors into Bersatu. 2 years later, after GE15, he left Bersatu to form his own party, Gagasan, and now leads GRS. According to the Borneo Post, his retirement announcement comes as GRS considers including a 2-term limit for the Chief Minister's post in its election manifesto. The state election, which must be held by December 7 this year, is expected to see shifting alliances and multi-corner contests, with GRS expected to clash with BN despite an alliance brokered by Pakatan Harapan. If you like the stories we produce, consider supporting us by subscribing to Malaysia Kini. Click the link in the description below or scan the QR code on your screen to subscribe. Former Finance Minister Lim Kuan Eng has filed a defamation suit against former Pasir Salah MP Tajuddin Abdul Rahman. The case centers on remarks Tajuddin made back in 2022. The suit was filed at the Kuala Lumpur High Court at around noon yesterday, with Tajuddin named as the sole defendant. A court notice cited by Malaysia Kini stated that case management had been scheduled for September 22nd. Tajuddin was previously reported to have made the remarks on October 18, 2022 during a live talk show, where he alleged Lim had turned the Finance Ministry office into a Chinese temple and was unwelcoming to Malays. He also alleged that Lim had terminated Malay civil servants working for the ministry and brought in his people, who were purportedly incompetent and placed in a room with no work to do. In his supporting affidavits, Lim said Tajuddin's statement was made in clear reference to him, as the latter had mentioned his name and that he was the finance minister at the time. He deemed Tajuddin had taken a calculated move in making such remarks, given GE15 was just around the corner then. He argued Tajuddin's remarks were calculated, aimed at painting him as a politician who was racist, anti-Malay, anti-Muslim, and insensitive to Malays, among others. He said the allegations had gravely injured or impaired his reputation as a seasoned and respected politician who was then the finance minister, a former Penang chief minister, and former chairperson of DAP. He also claimed that Tajuddin was unrepentant and not remorseful despite being given the opportunity to retract or apologize to him. Now in court, Lim is seeking a full retraction, public apologies in multiple outlets, damages, and an injunction to stop Tajuddin from repeating the claims. He further demanded 5% interest per annum on all sums that may be awarded by the court, as well as costs and other relief deemed fit. Back to the dental clinic in Pontian, which had been ordered to close for breaching the council's 2019 business and trade licensing bylaws, which include requirements on the proper display of national and state flags. Yesterday, we carried out a poll to find out what the public thought about the issue and whether the action was justified or excessive. Here are the results. 75% of around 3,500 people that voted believed that strict measures are necessary to protect the nation's dignity. 14% thought that the order was too severe and that there may be a reasonable explanation behind it. 9% said the action is appropriate, but called for any appeal to be considered fairly. Voters that commented said firm action was needed to prevent incidents like this from happening again. Another voter thought that the punishment was too harsh for a first-time offense. One voter suggested imposing a 10,000 ringgit fine for the offense and increasing it for any others. What are your thoughts on this? Share your views in the comments section below. That is all from me today. For more stories, you can go to kinitv.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, X, YouTube, and Facebook for the latest news updates. I'm Camelia. Thanks for watching.